Hello, my name is Michael Hayworth, and this is a video covering the topic of classroom harassment. Classroom harassment is an important topic for today's school administrators. It is a growing epidemic, and administrators must understand their responsibility and liability in reference to it. Classroom harassment is a form of sexual harassment or sexual discrimination. It is not to be tolerated in our public school system. Sexual harassment, as defined by Dr. Nan Stein of the National Violence Against Women Prevention Research Center, is unwanted and unwelcome behavior of a sexual nature that interferes with the right to receive an equal educational opportunity. It is a form of sex discrimination that is prohibited by Title IX, a federal law establishing civil rights in education that addresses issues of sex discrimination, and by judicial precedent, sexual harassment. Sexually harassing behaviors that can interfere with one's educational opportunity range from words, both written and spoken, and gestures to unwanted physical contact. The federal courts had divided sexual harassment into two categories. The first is quid pro quo harassment. A student is subjected to a quid pro quo harassment when a school official makes a decision about the student based on the student's willingness or unwillingness to exchange sexual favors or accept sexual advances made on the part of the school official. If a student does not receive a grade deserved because he or she thwarts the sexual advances of the teacher, this is quid pro quo harassment. The second category is hostile environment harassment. This type of harassment is characterized by a classroom environment where unwelcome sexual advances, inappropriate language, and/or behaviors are constant present in the classroom. The education of the students in this type of environment is adversely affected due to the constant air of harassment. The harassment may come from the teacher or from another student. Classroom harassment isn't strictly regulated to the classroom space. Classroom or sexual harassment can also take place in a school's official office, in the hallway, library, gymnasium, and even off campus. The harasser can be a coach, a teacher, another student, a school staff member, or a counselor. Teachers and school administrators are not the only perpetrators of classroom or sexual harassment and discrimination. Classroom or sexual harassment can manifest itself as inappropriate touching, jokes, comments, invasion of personal space, flashing genitals, or using lewd gestures. Title IX of the Federal Education Amendments of 1972 prohibits schools who discriminate based on sex from receiving federal funding. Sexual harassment discrimination can fall under this umbrella. There are several court cases centering on the issue of classroom and/or sexual harassment in public schools. In Vance v. Spencer County Public School District, a female student sued the district when another student sexually harassed her. Both physical and verbal harassment was claimed. One instance of physical assault was also alleged. Both the student and her mother complained to the school and its administrators over a 3-year period. In May 1995, the student filed a formal complaint. In response, the district approved her to finish the school year with homeschooling, but did not discipline the accused harassers. In the summer of 1996, a lawsuit was filed claiming Spencer County Public School District subjected her to intentional sexual discrimination as a result of peer conduct. Davis v. Monroe County Board of Education is another student-to-student harassment case. In 1999, the mother of a 5th grade student sued the Board of Education, alleging that the board failed to end harassment her daughter was subjected to by a fellow student. Ultimately, the Supreme Court sided with the plaintiff. The Supreme Court determined that the school board acted deliberately indifferent towards the situation, as the harassment was deemed to be serious and constant, thus entitling Davis and her daughter to the damages they sought. There are many things schools can do to prevent harassment. Training can be held to inform staff and students on the district's harassment policies. Procedures for reporting harassment can be clear and easy to accomplish. Action should be taken quickly when a report is filed or when harassment is suspected. The school environment should be one in which students feel safe to file reports of harassment, and those reports should remain confidential. All students, faculty, and staff in the school should be treated with care and respect. ISLLC Standards 2 and 3 apply to the topic of classroom harassment. Standard 2 calls for education leaders to create a culture of collaboration, trust, learning, and high expectations. Standard 3 calls for education leaders to promote and protect the welfare and safety of students and staff. The following are the references used to prepare this presentation. This has been a presentation covering the topic of classroom harassment. Thank you.